Hello, you are welcome to new focus approach to mathematics basic 7. And remember, this is revised edition. In this video, we want to talk about types of angles. And this lesson can be found in page 236 of your textbook. So now using GeoGebra, we will look at various types of angles. Now we have the first type of angle called acute angle. And we said acute angle is an angle that lies between 0 up to 90. That is between 0 and 90. 0 is not acute angle. 90 is not acute angle. But in between 0 and 90, we found acute angle. So example, like angle 52 here is an acute. When you go down to maybe 26 here is an acute. So you can see the shape of acute angle. Before we get to 90, we have acute angle. So 1 degree, 2 degrees, 0.9 degrees, they are all types of acute angle. Okay, so this material demonstrates acute angle. If you pick a scissors, for example, you see as we open the scissors, the angle here can be seen as an angle less than 90 degrees. And so that is acute angle. Now, when the clock is, let's say 10 o'clock, between the hour hand and then the minute hand, we also see acute angle. And even between the hour hand and then the second hand, we also see acute angle. So these are examples of real life experience of acute angle. All right, the moment our angle gets exactly up to 90 degrees, then we get a new type of angle called right angle. Right angle. So we said between 0 and 90 is acute. But exactly 90, what is it? Exactly 90 is called right angle. And so this is example of right angle or right angle. So example of right angle, we can see when a clock is exactly, let's say 3 o'clock, we can get right angle, right? Beautiful. If you have a table, between the table, the top part and then the stand, we still see an angle of 90 degrees, which is right angle. Now look at this electric pole. We assume the ground to be a flat surface, of course a plane, and then the vertical pole makes an angle of 90 degrees to the ground. And so in real life experience, we can always position or we can see right angle. If you stand as a human being straight, then your body and the floor or the ground makes an angle of 90 degrees, which is right angle. All right, now what happens if our angle goes above 90 degrees? Above 90 degrees. And so any angle above 90 degrees, like 100 degrees, 92 degrees, but not up to 180. Even if it is 79.9999999, it will still be between 90 and 180. So we'll call it obtuse angle. So obtuse angle, look at the size of obtuse angle right from the blue line. As it grows up to where the red line is, that becomes our obtuse angle. So angle of this sort is obtuse angle. Even if I get it a little bit like this, which is above 90 degrees, you can see 102 is obtuse angle. So observe the green arrow here. I mean the green symbol here that shows us how big the angle is. Initially, when it was very small, it was acute, but when it was exactly 90, it was right, and now it has turned into obtuse angle. So we say obtuse angle is any angle between 90 and 180. I mean, the size of it is between 90 and 180. Real life, we can see obtuse angle. For example, if our time is let's say 2, this one is 50 let's say 52. Okay, the angle between the hour hand and then the minute hand is obtuse. And here you can also see that the angle between the hour hand and then the second hand is also obtuse. It's bigger than 90 degrees. You can see the roofing here, the angle here is bigger than 90 and it's less than 180, so that's also an obtuse. With this hanger too, you can see our angle here also indicating an obtuse angle. This is an obtuse angle. Now that we know obtuse angle, what happens if the angle hit exactly 90 degrees? Exactly 90 degrees. Sorry, exactly 180 degrees. So let's say we have 180 degrees like this. Look at the shape of the angle. Have you seen the shape of the angle? That is 180. We have two lines that is meeting, and then it forms a straight line, and the angle between that is 180, and it's called straight angle. It's called straight angle, and we can see that in real life experience. With our protractor here, you can see that the angle between the baseline here, okay, and that of this one is an angle of 180. We have a straight line here, and there is a point, okay, of intersection. The other one is also joining, and two together makes a straight line. That makes an angle of 180, which is a straight angle. Now, if you look at this tennis board, this table tennis board, you see that normally we fold it. We can fold it. So from the point here up to where the net is one point or one line. Then from the point there to the end also over here is another line. And the angle that exists between this must always be 180. In fact, if we position table tennis and we don't get that exact 180 degrees between the two sides of the boards, then definitely one player is going to get advantage over the other. And so always we make sure the angle that exists here must be straight angle. Okay, that is straight angle. That is exactly 180. Please let me caution you. If I have a straight line like this, I can't say straight line has an angle of 180 because with this straight line, we only have a line, and angle comes when two lines meet. So until we create maybe a point to show that there's a line meeting, two lines meeting at a point forming a straight line, then we can get our angle of 180. But just ordinary straight line doesn't have an angle of 180 degrees. Let's take note of that. If our angle now goes above 180, which is not up to 360, any value above 180 before it gets to 360, that angle is called reflex angle. So look at the size of the green arc here. You see the green arc that shows you the angle of reflex. So you can see all this can be a reflex angle. You see how the angle, the arc goes. The green arc is what is telling us that we have a reflex angle. And anytime we have a reflex angle, we could have an acute or obtuse angle difference. The other white side here can be acute. And then again, when I go this way, between the red line and the blue line also is obtuse. But then we have our reflex angle at the top here. Yes, we can also see reflex angle when we pick a clock. See now that this angle is the internal angle here is obtuse, external angle here becomes a reflex angle. And so when the time is let's say 10 11, okay, 10:11, we can see the angle between the hour hand and then the minute hand. As the exterior angle becomes reflex, and then the interior one becomes maybe obtuse or acute. Again, on top of the roof here, you can see a reflex angle. On top here is reflex. Down here is obtuse. So let's take note of how we can identify reflex angle and other types of angle. Finally, the last type of angle we'll talk about is one revolution. That's an angle of 360. When we complete the whole process, as we complete the whole process, look at the green arc as it completes and come back to its original shape, we get a complete circle, and that is a circle of 360, and we call it one revolution, an angle of 360. And so these are the types of angles we have in our textbook. Thanks so much for watching.